Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're going to be watching this video from. This is your friend Miss TV in the School of Learning and Development. So today I'm going to be talking about our deployment in a resource group. Deployment in a resource group. So deployment in a resource group, deployment in a resource group in Microsoft Azure. So a deployment is a track operation that creates, updates, or delete resources in a resource group. So what Azure does is that it store the metadata about each deployment, including the parameters, templates, and outcome. So which means that if you spin up a virtual machine or if you spin up a storage account and you delete it and you delete that storage account within that resource group. Now, when you delete it, everything gets deleted automatically. But what if you now need that particular same virtual machine you spin up, the same configuration you did earlier on, or the same kind of thing? So instead of you going and then spinning it up, you can just go to that same, if you have that resource group. So if what you deleted is just the resources and not the resource group, so you can go back to that resource group. You can go back to that resource group and then get that particular uh, VM, and then get it, then you now redeploy it back, and it will be redeployed back into your resource group account. Okay, so what this deployment does is that it keeps record of whatever you have provisioning, so these are stored in the resource group deployment history and can be manually deleted without affecting the actual resources. And Azure will keep up to 800 deployment per resource group. But once that limit is reached, the oldest deployment automatically purge. Okay, so which it does not really affect your resources in the resource group. Okay, that is if you have not deleted it. So let's go to our portal and see what I'm talking about. So this is our browser. You come up here and type your portal. You type your portal.azure.com to go into your Azure portal. Okay, now type your portal.azure.com. So once you do that, now then you go to your resource group. Okay, go to your resource group. You come up here and click on your resource group. So when you come up here, now I'll now search for the resource group I want to use. So this is my resource group here now. So if you look at this resource group here now, inside this resource group, you can see that the only resource I have here is my virtual network. Okay, I have just the virtual network resource. But when you now come, but I've actually uh I've actually put in a virtual machine. I've spin up a virtual machine on inside this resource group, but I've deleted it. So now, but you can see it's not here in my resource group. But if you come up here within your resource group, let me just collapse this. So when you come up here within your resource group, okay, this is my resource group here. You can see it's now Yemtech IT underscore RG, my resource group. Now you can see inside this resource group, like I said, I have just my virtual network, okay? But the virtual machine I have there earlier on, I've deleted it. But if you go to your deployment, you can see here, you come up here, click on your settings, and you go to deployment. Okay, so deployment will keep track of every resources you have deployed inside that particular resource group. So if you look at this my deployment, you have deployment name, status, last modify, duration, related events. Now, if you look at this one, this is create load balance. You can see now. So I created what? A load balancer. But if you go back to the resource, you go back to the overview, it's not there. I've deleted it. The only resource I have left here is my um, virtual network. Okay, so let's go back to deployment. Now when you come up here, you can see I have another, this is my V network. I actually, when I create that virtual machine, I actually put use this particular virtual network on it, so you can see that it's there, but that one is still in my resource group. I didn't delete it. Then if you come up here, you can see create VM. So you can see that I spin up a VM, was successful. So if I click on here, you can see the date I did that on the 25th 08 2025. Okay, if you click on related event here, that related event will show you like the list who actually did that particular thing. You can see the create deployment, succeeded, show you all the operation that it was actually done by me. Okay, so let me go back to that resource group. Now click on your deployment. Now I want to now redeploy this my particular VM. Okay, this VM I want to redeploy it back. So what I need to do, I'll just click on it and then I'll click on redeploy. Click on redeploy. You can see the date I deployed was 25th, but I've deleted already. Now, but this deployment will keep the track record of all your deployment, okay, all your resources that you've deployed. Like I said, Azure keep this particular resources in this deployment state. It's keep about 800 deployment per resource group. So once it's getting to that limit, once it's reached that particular limit, the oldest deployment are automatically deleted. Okay, so now I click on this here. So once I click on that, you can see it's going to show me everything. So I'll just click on this redeploy. Click on redeploy. So once I click on redeploy, here it's going to show me, you can see now my resource group. You can see the resource group, sorry, my subscription. You can see that the resource group is there. You can see the region I want to make use of. You can see that the network interface is to pick it. You can see enable accelerated network true. So it's going to pick up everything I have. All I just need to do is to come down here and then create my admin password. You can see that the admin username I created to create it there. So what I need to do now is to now create my admin password. So it might be any resource. So it can be probably maybe your storage. You can see that I showed that I created a load balancer. It's still there. I've deleted it from the resource group, but it's in that deployment state. So here I'll just come up here and create my password. Okay, I'll create a password, and once I create that password, I'll come up here. I'll now click on my next. You can see here all these ones I enable. I'll just leave it there. I'll click on my next. Once I click on next, then it's going to start running my validation. It's going to run the validation. You can see, so here the validation is already checked, completed. You can see everything. You can see it's there. So once I do, I'll just click on say create. Now, once you click on your create, you can see it will start initialize. I mean, it will start what spinning up that particular virtual machine. Okay, so it will start doing the process. Okay, so now you can see now this my virtual machine is now being redeployed with everything, although I've deleted it, but it's still in my deployment state. Okay, so like I said, all these ones are there. So once it's finished spinning up, you will see I will then log into that particular event. You can see it's creating the public address. You can see it's creating the security network security group. You can see the VM is created already. You can see, so it's still in the process to create every other thing, the nick and everything that needs to be created, the disk, the image and everything. So once it's created, I can now log into that particular VM. Okay, so that is how you can also, that's how you can redeploy the resources that you have, the resources in a particular resource group that has been deleted. Already that resource group is still there, but the resources has been deleted. But now I now need them. I then go back to deployment and then redeploy that particular resources for me to be able to use. Okay, so let's wait for this deployment to complete, and then we will log in into that particular VM to see that it's actually working. Okay, so now you can see that deployment is now complete. Okay, so your deployment is complete. Okay, so I'll then click on that resource group, say go to resource group. I'll click on that. So once you click on that, so you can see that now this particular virtual machine that was created, if you go back to your deployment, if you go back to the settings, click on deployment, you can see that the day I created this was on the 25th. Okay, now I've redeployed it. It's showing me that 2 minutes 48 seconds. You can see it's at 2 minutes 48 seconds. It took 2 minutes 48 seconds to get that particular VM deploy for me. So I'll go back to my overview. Then you can see it now. You can see that this VM has now been what redeployed. Okay, Now I've created it before, I deleted it, but everything you create, everything, any resources you deploy in the particular resource group is being stored in your deployment state even after deletion. Okay, so you can go back there and then redeploy it back. So when you redeploy back, that does not mean that it's going to redeploy back the data that is inside there. It's going to just redeploy that virtual machine afresh for you, but the data that you deleted initially before is gone. I'm not sure that data is going to be there. Okay, so now I'm going to log into this VM, click on it. Once I click on my VM, come up here, say connect. I'll now click on download RDP. Come up here, open the RDP file, and double click. I'm going to drag it to the screen here. Click on connect, and here I'm going to put in my password. So I'm just going to type in that password I use, and then I'll now click on OK. Then once I click on OK, now it's going to take me in. Click on yes, drag this in, drag it in here. So you can see that that particular VM is now spinning up for me. I have now what redeploy a particular VM that has been deleted, but is now recorded in the deployment state within that resource group. Okay, so you can see now, this my VM is going to spin up for me. Okay, so this is how you can actually what redeploy a particular resources from your resource group. A deleted resources can be redeployed in your resource group from the from the deployment state. Okay, so this is how you can achieve this, which is quite very important. It's quite very handy for the Azure admin and everything. So you can see now, login for me. Yeah, you can just come up here and accept. Except now I'm in. Okay, so you can see now I've redeployed this my particular VM that I deleted initially. Okay, so this is how you can do that. Okay, I hope you have gained something from this particular short video. I want to encourage you to kindly make sure you like, share, comment, and also subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do that. Okay, so I remain your friend Okwemi Steven in the School of Learning and Development and your latest MCT. Come on, thank you everybody. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you in another video. Bye bye for now.